everyone, this is Dominique Gowrie with the Black Women's Guide, and we are on episode 6, and we are talking about passive income this episode. So all month we've been talking about growth and scalability. Thought it was really important to talk a little bit more about passive income. And so I think it's fair to say that not all of us are in the position to jump kind of all into our business, automatically, right? Many of us either work a full-time job. I know I work a job, and then work on our business at night or on the weekends, right? I think it's pretty common for anyone who's starting a business. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about passive income, because this is really income that will kind of support you while you're building your business or also while you're working. It's really about how do I build systems to create revenue over time that I can automate, right? And I want to just take a minute to talk about why this is so important in general, and then talk a little bit about how to do it. So I think it's important to say out loud that passive income does not mean that you set it and forget it, right? But it does mean that you create systems and kind of mechanisms that can work for you to help you generate revenue, what we call inbound, right? Which means that you're doing something, an activity that triggers an action for someone to take, that they can follow and then pay you for something without having to kind of step into the process and actually pick up the phone, have a meeting, close the deal. Now, you can do that as well, but the whole idea of passive income is that you can eventually get to a level where people can go through the whole sales cycle without you if they so choose. So they don't have to actually talk to you to actually get that thing that they want to buy. So if you're not, many of you might be consultants or coaches, or you make a product or sell it. So that's not passive income, right? Like, you have to make the thing to sell it. The minute you stop making it or providing the service, the minute you stop being able to sell it. So passive income really speaks to the idea of, can I create a system or a model where people can buy something from me and I can take myself out as the middleman in the sales process? So a good example of this is like real estate. Let's say you own a couple duplexes. So people are paying you rent every single month. That's passive income, right? Yes, you had to get them set up and they had to sign up, and sign the lease. But now for the next year or more, they're paying you monthly, pretty much automatically, depending on what kind of landlord you are, but pretty much automatically, right? In terms of being able to just kind of either write you a check or direct withdraw it, from the bank account or whatever. So that's what passive income really is, the ability to passively kind of receive an automated cash flow, kind of like a subscription or a monthly payment, or a scheduled payment, without having to kind of insert yourself into every sales process. And it's really important because over time, when you think about scalable businesses or businesses that can grow, what we're really talking about is passive income. The ability to actually build a business model that can scale means that it is able to automate sales process to a high degree. It might not be the whole sales process, but a lot of it is automated, which is what you can use ads for, or what you can use any kind of social media marketing for. Technology itself can close the deal for you. So instead of you having to take a payment over the phone, they can type it on the computer and pay you that way, right? Those are all kind of forms of automation that allow you to create a passive income in your business, a way for people to pay for things whether or not you're there or not to close the deal. I want to kind of break and talk about what do we call it now? Story time. So let's talk about story time. So I have a story to tell you about this woman named Alicia, and she has been executive coach for over 15 years. So like 75% of her business comes from coaching. Like, her profits come from coaching, and 25% of her profits are from passive income, right? Like kind of these like additional services. So she holds 1 or 2 coaching conferences a year, and then she hosts some paid webinars and some small kind of how-to events, right? So her first couple of conferences were able to keep her business afloat. Like, they helped her get in the big revenue in the early years, but it really was her coaching that really she was able to leverage into creating passive income for her business. So as her client base grew, she found that it was really difficult and expensive to travel everywhere to all her different clients. And she really couldn't be everywhere at the same time, right? So she basically pretty much said, well, I'm going to kind of go from doing 1 or 2 conferences a year to kind of one bigger one once a year. So again, kind of thinking about how do you scale thoughtfully. Instead of doing more of the same that stretches you too thin, can I do less, bigger, or more impactful, right? To make the math meet at the end, the profits be the same. So as she grew her business beyond the conferences and when she was doing the coaching, it was just obviously like expensive for her. And she was really getting like a lot of, like if you're a coach, you know this, you get like a lot of emails, you get a lot of phone calls, and you're doing all these sessions and you're creating content, and there's a lot of things that go into it. And it's a lot to do that, and then also do all your marketing, all your social media marketing, and so on. So she decided to actually go and do ads and automate her sales system. So now she's able to kind of sell some of that content that she was doing live and sell it online as part of her passive income strategy. So that really is where the idea comes from, right? Like she was like, okay, I'm doing this stuff live, I'm doing the coaching in person, I'm traveling to do coaching, I'm doing the conferences in person, but everyone likes my content. Is there another way for me to package and sell it so that I don't have to actually be the one delivering it every time people want to buy it or want access to it? And she took what she did in her coaching and some of her conference content, not all of it, and then she put it online into kind of a coaching package, and people could buy that online from her, which helped her start to build her passive income business versus having a active income business where she had to go out and sell that thing and do that activity to make that money. I want to talk a little bit about particularly for a coach, why doing a coaching package versus maybe a seminar or a training live is a better solution. So if you're already doing the seminar, you're already creating the content, you're already doing the workshop, then you already have what you need to create a passive income, right? You can just take what you did, you can record it live when you do it in person, take that and package it and put it online. And you can put it on YouTube, you can put it on a webinar platform, and you can sell it. It can be $5, $10, $20, whatever, but you can sell that content that you've now done in person online. So you don't need to start all over by crafting a whole new thing to sell online. You can take what you're already doing and package it and put it online, sell it automatically to create passive income, right? So I think that's really an important thing. I think for most people who are starting businesses, particularly if you're a coach or consultant, you want to create passive income. Now, what if you are not a coach or consultant, right? And you're like, well, I want passive income in my life as well. What things can I do to get passive income? So let's talk about that. The first is you can become a silent partner, right? If you're in a position where you can help someone else in their business, you can become a partner of theirs. A silent partner really means that you have a business contract with them, which says you're giving them some money or some seed money to start their business, but you're going to take a part of the profits. So it's like a revenue share or revenue split. When they sell an item, you get $1 back or whatnot. So eventually you'll pay yourself back from what you gave them, but then you'll also be making additional passive income, residual money from that relationship, because you gave them that seed money, you might be able to now get $1 from every product that they sell for the next 5 years. So even though you gave them the $2,000 up front, it's 5 years later, and now you've been able to recoup $7,000 or whatnot. So you can do that as well. Become a silent partner. Help someone start their business or grow their business, and do a revenue split where they take a percentage of the sales that you make, so that you don't have to pay them back. You don't have to pay them back directly, but the person, if you're actually the one investing, will just get a part of the sales that they make. So that's an option you can do for passive income as well. Same thing for your consultant. If you're selling a bunch of stuff and information or your services, you can do the same thing as a coach would do and package what you sell, what you do in person, and put it online. Any content piece that you make, you can put online. If you write a book, if you do a course, if you do a conference, if you do a live training, you can package all of those things and put them online. So again, passive income really is about the ability to automate the process in which you sell something. Because here's the thing, people get really confused. They say, well, I wrote a book and I want passive income. Well, a book doesn't give you passive income. A book is a piece of content. Now, it can be a good book, it can be a New York Times selling book, but you have to drive traffic to that site so people can buy that thing. But passive income really speaks to not the content, but the way in which it's sold. If you can create a system that automates the selling process, so you can take yourself out of the equation, meaning they don't have to rely on you to close the deal to make money, or you don't have to rely on you being in the room to sign the contract or deposit the check. That is what passive income really is about. It's about the ability to say, hey, I set up a system, you want to buy this thing, here's what you go through to buy it, and I don't have to be there for you to do that. That's what passive income is. That's what rental income is. That's what online content businesses are. That's what being even like a silent partner is, right? You set it and forget it. You don't forget it, but you set it with a little bit of management, right? You say, hey, I'm going to give you this money up front, and every quarter I'm going to see what you sold, and I'm going to get a cut of what you sold. right? Automated. You took yourself out of the process. You don't have to be there every single month for them to sell their product to pay you. That's their job, and they're going to pay you on the back end. Before I answer any kind of questions from Facebook, I just want to remind you guys that you can always put a hashtag Dear Dom with any questions that you have, and I'll answer them during the show. So my first question here is from Nadine. She's an artist and a graphic designer and has a pretty large social media following. She wants to know how she should turn that into dollars. So I get this a lot. A lot of women have, particularly Black women, because we're social beings, we have a lot of followers. Like, we have a lot of social media followers. We post a lot. We have a large community. We're interested in building community. And we don't really know what to do with that information. So there's two things you can do with that. I prefer the content business because for me, that's like something that you can control as an individual. You can build that business. But I think the other option you have is also like sponsorship and distribution. Can you package and sell your content? Can you get someone to sponsor an event that you throw? I think those are great ways to start your business and get some brand notoriety and so on. I don't think it's a long-term solution. I wouldn't want to bet on sponsorship to pay my bills, but I think you can do that in partnership with content. And if you have people following you for something and they like something about what you're offering, figure out what they like about what you're offering and package that and sell it, pretty much. Next question, Veronica. So Veronica is a landscape architect and has thought about offering classes but isn't sure if it's worth the startup cost. So I would say starting an online business, and I'm not talking about like a technology business, I'm talking about like a coaching, content business or training business, I think has some of the cheapest startup costs of any business available. If you do a food business or you make like t-shirts or something like that, there's like a material cost to what you're providing, right? You have to like buy the product, make it, store it, whatever, sell it. Online content, you just have to create, it's this information that comes out of your head that you put on paper, right? So you don't have to like have as much overhead to run a business. So it's really not expensive comparatively to other businesses. You can also start an online business with no money at all. It might take longer to grow it, but you can start it, which is pretty unique in the business world because technology has offered us the opportunity to build things from nothing, meaning you can get open source code, you can get a free website, you can get a free landing page tool, you can go and use your phone and get on Facebook, and you can do all these different, Instagram or whatever, there's all these different things you can do. So I would say that like the biggest thing stopping people from creating online content businesses is fear. If you give yourself time to nurture your business will be successful. If you do not give yourself time to nurture it correctly, it will not be successful. I think people think, well, there's so much other stuff out there, it's not going to really work. There's a humongous market out there, and what people are looking for is not new information, but information that resonates with them, right? There's a lot of people who talk about business online, but you might be watching this because you like what I'm talking about. You like the brand, you like the people in the community, right? So you have to realize that it's not just about I have to be the only expert on earth who knows this one thing, because that's pretty difficult at this point unless you're like a Nobel Prize winning mathematician, right? Like most people know a lot of, the information is shared. So what you're paying for, what you're watching for is someone that speaks to you, and that's your authentic self. And so I would say to Veronica, don't be afraid of offering classes and content. Don't worry about the startup costs because they really are quite small and they can be as low or as high as you want them to be. And really just think about what you want to share with the world and how you want to share it and start from that perspective and you'll be just fine. So thanks so much for joining us again this week. I hope this series is encouraging you and inspiring you to grow your business. If you have ideas of things you want to see, again, hashtag me at Dear Dom. If you have questions about your business, hashtag at Dear Dom. If you want to talk about marketing, legal, building a team, operations, sales, the whole nine, I'd love to hear your questions and get your thoughts on how, things you're thinking about in terms of how to build your business in 2017. We will post new episodes every single Friday, so please come back and watch every single week, and I will see you on the internet. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.